Hey guys, I'm Max19, welcome back to another tryout. Today's tryout is on these three weird 3DS games that I found on the eShop. Love Hero,
Your resurrection was a mistake.
the Queen TV Game 2, and Gal Galaxy Paint. I probably can't even show the title card of the last one because of how quickly it flashes. Anyway, these are three games that were developed by a developer from, I think,
Savannah,
Georgia, called Butterfly. The music in this will largely be my own stock music, except with where it's otherwise stated, because I don't know the music rights situation for these games exactly. It seems like it uses some other stock music that might not have the rights to. So we're gonna go that way for this one.
Your resurrection was a mistake.
So first up, if you haven't noticed, is Love Hero. Love Hero came out in 2019. I played this for around 20 minutes. I didn't play these for the full hour that I might, because these are kind of like arcade-style games. Opening Love Hero was kind of a surreal experience. I think I should just, like, play it and let you experience that as well. Yeah, it's the music from Summoning Salt. If you watch Summoning Salt on YouTube, you'll hear this song. Like, why? What's that doing here? That's kind of weird. It's just heard something in a place you don't expect it. So there was that right off the bat. Actually digging into playing the game, this is an arcade shooter, like shmup type thing with largely like melancholy vibes. The idea is that a song plays and you have to basically survive the length of the song. You have 5 hearts, which means you can take damage 5 times, and if you do, you die, you gotta start over. You'll start the song over. I only got through the first level in my time playing. I played a little bit of the second level, and it seems like each level has different obstacles to deal with, though you are confined to the screen. Something I learned while playing, that is, if you press the face buttons in a circle, like just run your finger across them, you'll shoot like very fast, because there doesn't seem to be like any sort of time cooldown between when you can shoot, or at least not one that is noticeable. So you can shoot real fast by like taking the controller, like the face buttons, and going like this across them, around them. Shoot real fast. There'll be some footage on screen of that so that you can see how fast that is compared to like normal shoot speeds. It's a very simple game, likely very short. It's got 5 levels, I believe. Not much there content-wise, but I think these basic arcade-type games have a little bit of a replayability to them in some sense. And you also have to take into account that this game was sold for $1. This game was $1, so it wasn't very expensive. And I think for $1, it's an interesting enough package to be like, yeah, I'd pay $1 for this. One nitpick I noticed was that the sound effects are loud to the point where you can't hear the music in the levels, which feels off in that, like, the music in the levels is the centerpiece of the gameplay. You're revolving around that. So it's weird that you can't hear the music over the gameplay very well. And now here's where I'd usually pass or fail things, but the eShop closed, so like you can't really like legitimately get any of these games. So it's like, I don't know.
I'm not dead.
The next game was the Queen TV Game 2, which was released in January of 2022. And this one I played for around 15 minutes. It's a sequel to Love Hero. It seems to have some like connectivity in the light narrative. It's sort of through-lining through things, or at least like narrative that is outside of the gameplay for the most part.
Things were easy when the TV was off. No one will ever fucking play me again. You all switched over and moved on, but it's okay.
And I actually had to look up how that if there was a game, because I clicked through to a menu and it just looked like it was loading permanently, but that was not the case. I was just not doing anything. I just didn't press a button, and so nothing happened, obviously. This game was 2 cents, so it was kind of hard to like not buy. It's like, why is this 2 cents? What the heck is this? And so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll get that. Like Love Hero, this is sort of like a basic arcadey type game, but the vibe is less melancholic and it has a bit more of like an indignance to it. Like, I don't know, listen to this like voice clip that plays when you open the game.
I remember when we first met 9 years ago. Love Hero was on TV. It got fucking canceled.
You could argue it's simpler in gameplay than Love Hero in that you're just a cube and you deflect blocks while you move around. So there's a bit less to it, but like it's still relatively difficult. And I think that since this one has some secret achievements, it says, in the how to play section, that adds a bit more replayability to this game compared to Love Hero. But like I said, it's very difficult. I didn't get past the first level on this one, just because like it's deceptively simple, but like you have to kind of know what you're doing. You have to really get into the zone. It's way more difficult than Love Hero. It's an interesting little title, but the eShop is closed, so I don't know. And the last game we're going to talk about today is Gal Galaxy Pain. Gal Galaxy Pain came out in April of 2022, and I played this one for about 20 minutes as well. This game is very unique, and it was 50 cents, rounding out the total purchase price for these three games at $1.52. This is once again a sequel to the other two, but like, you know, sequel, I think. Like, it uses terminology in its narrative setup that connects it to the other two in a way, but I, having not finished any of them, don't totally see the through line through all of this. The concept here is you're sort of a disgruntled worker and you're protecting the world from meteors, and you do that via entering numbers on a keypad. It's very difficult, especially as you get into double and triple digit numbers, but it's also very intuitive to just like tap, press, tap, press, tap, press, tap, tap, press, tap, you know, just the back and forth with the touch screen, with the stylus. It's a very intuitive gameplay. I made it to the third level, but with how the game is set up, you have to sort of get through it all in one go, which I feel like is a bit extra punishing when you already have to restart a level if you take damage. Basically how it works is you have 3 lives per run, and if a meteor hits the ground, you lose one of your lives, and you restart the level. And if you run out of all 3 lives, you have to start your run over again. There's 7 levels, and I imagine I can get through it eventually because it is a very intuitive but difficult game. It's just not making mistakes, because if you make a single mistake, you probably aren't going to recover, especially once you get into triple digit numbers and whatnot, where it takes more time to get through typing out a number. And so like the little amount of time it costs to press the delete key to clear and start typing again is enough time to throw off your entire run, and you're just done. You lose a life. I actually like this a lot, and in its overall vibe, it kind of reminds me of this video game prototype that I made. I've not talked about it on the channel yet, but with it being that sort of like management type thing, it puts me in the mind of my management horror game that I made a prototype of. I'll put a link to that in the description if you want to check that out. However, the eShop is closed, so overall, these are 3 cool games. There are some other games that the developer made that I want to shout out. I've not played them, but they have Daikon Set on the Wii U, another 3DS game, but I didn't get to purchase it because it was only released in Europe, called Shovel Software Insurance Claim. I didn't learn about this until after I had recorded for the video and I was writing the script, the notes for the episode, so I might insert some footage here so you can see it, but I won't be talking about it today. And lastly, they have a game out on Steam now that is a sequel to Shovel Software Insurance Claim called Bleeding Metal Rainbow. If you end up checking out these games, any of the games on the 3DS or the Wii U, via whatever means you can get your hands on them and like them, you can go pick up their newest game on Steam, I guess. But, you know, I've been joking about it, like, oh, the eShop's closed, so whatever. But honestly, I think all these games pass. They were cheap games. They were very interesting games that most of the part, especially Gal Galaxy Panic, utilized being on a tool screen device with a touchscreen pretty well. And, you know, if the eShop were still around, I'd be like, yeah, go buy them. But, you know, now you have to, like, hack your 3DS, which isn't that difficult. I had to do it to this one so I can get capture out of it. But I did capture this episode on the Capture 3DS. I just downloaded the games off eShop because I own them. I bought them. And it's really silly that I can't re-download titles onto another 3DS if I sign in. It's absolutely stupid. It's ridiculous, but I'm not going to rant about that today. We're going to get here to the end of the episode. I have said all I need to say about these 3 games today. So you go down in the description, you click links to all sorts of places, like my Beacon.ai, also the link to my game prototype, but Beacon.ai link, click that, it'll take you to my Patreon, Bandcamp, Redbubble, etc. You can go to those places, do what you do there. Like the video if you liked, dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you want to keep up with this and other shows. I'm mostly doing this right now, but there will be other things periodically. What's the next thing? Leave a comment. Have you played any of these games? Have you played any of the other games by this developer? Let me know what you thought about any of that down there. And share the video. Do things. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.